Peace, family. Welcome back again. Hope y'all doing good out there. So, this message is about how you are misjudged. A lot of times we can look back at our past not to reminisce or, just to look back to be stuck. No, we like to go over our past and kind of think about life from time to time. You probably wondering why, when you was in certain spaces of your life, where you felt like you didn't get enough credit, where you felt like you didn't get what you quite deserved, when you felt like people didn't really see you for who you really were. People didn't really celebrate you the way you felt like you should have been celebrated. Maybe you've been mistreated. Maybe you faced disappointments or dismissals, right? Some people in your family or friends or peers. In romance, you know what I'm saying? You felt like you were overlooked in certain ways. Even some of y'all even humiliated by some of your family or people that was jealous of you that try to make you look bad in public, right? You were misjudged. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. See, a lot of y'all were misjudged. What I mean by that is this: people assume that because you weren't the super loud one, because you wasn't always the big, pompous, arrogant, loudmouth, class clown, because you always wasn't in gossip or you wasn't always fighting and being the main one in a scene, and you wasn't always in some shenanigans where somebody did this and said this, and you know what I mean, this person jumped this person, is always because you wasn't always in the mix of drama, that you were the goody two shoe. You were the nice guy or the nice girl. um People thought you were sweet. They thought you didn't have no fight or no bite to you. um and your value, because of this, because you wasn't always loud on the scene, people overlooked your value. You were overlooked, but really more so misjudged. And so because of this, you didn't really get what you deserve, because people didn't really see you for who you were, because people are fickle and people are very surface level. So they looked at your surface, they looked at how you assumed or how you appeared, and they made assumptions about your appearance, but they never actually got to know you for who you really were. Now you're in a season of expressing yourself in a way where you're always been yourself, but people are actually starting to realize, oh shit, this is who this person is. We had no idea. All this time they were walking past you, was in school with you, saw you on the block, saw you in school, saw you at work, saw you wherever you were, right? And they're like, what? This is who this person was all this time? Yeah. And so people are really starting to see your value. And I don't even have to tell you, if you resonate with this message already, people that you were once interested in that overlooked you or might have misjudged you, they're coming back. They're trying to come back. They're trying to text you. They're sliding in your DMs. They're kind of like liking pictures here and there every once in a while. And sometimes you might have forgot that they actually follow you. You don't even know they ass was following you on social media, but they hitting the like button, they're watching. That's because your aura is stronger now than ever before. You're shining brighter than ever before. Your confidence is at an all-time high. And maybe you were in the shadows. Maybe you did have a shell to you because you had to grow up out of that due to your environment or whatever it was, right? But you worked on yourself, and so who you really are, who you've always been, is now just coming forth. It's just you're bolder about how you conduct yourself now. Remember, I told you on that last video, how is well a couple of videos ago, how being bold is the key, because why should you live in the shadows? Why would you live your life always being in the background, always being in the shadows, always being underneath this sheltered version of yourself? Nah, man, you weren't born to be in the shadows. You were born to, be out in the open, to express who you are and to show yourself in its fullness, right? And so people are starting to see you for who you really are. And it really, some people are like in regret. They're like, damn, all this time this person was like this, and then remember they treated you like crap. And that's because a lot of people treated you like crap because they thought you was weak. They thought, again, they didn't think you had no bark, no bite, no nothing. And they assumed that you were the type of person that should be subjected to mistreatment because they assume you are always going to be there, or they assume you are weak or lesser than them, kind of beneath them. So they treated you like what they thought you were. So they looked down on you, but you were never the one to look down on. You were the one to look up to, right? And so a lot of people are in regret. They're ashamed. They're embarrassed. Uh, and they're trying to like calibrate their thoughts, and they're struggling because they feel so bad for how they treated you. Now they realize they should have been on your team. They should have given you a lot more respect and credit because you're definitely due to it. Um, and but a lot of people are admiring you from afar too right now. They're looking, they're watching, and they're really amazed at all the work that you've done, who you become, and just how you look. God damn, you just look good. You look sharp. You look strong. You're radiating. You're vibrating high. You're the best version of yourself, and so a lot of people are like, "Wow, look at him. Look at her. That's crazy." I remember I went to school. I remember I went to middle school with her. I remember I went to high school with him. Damn, that's really them. The whole time I was at the same school with this person, and then now they're this. Yeah, yeah. Um. So a lot of people, they're uncertain now too because again, for a long time, some of these social circles, it's not all, but it's a lot of people that came across you that realized they didn't approach you or treat you the way they should have, or they underestimated you or overlooked you in certain ways and misjudge you. They want to rekindle things with you. They want to come back in, they want to build a relationship, but they don't know how because they don't know how you feel about them because they can see there's obvious changes that you've made, but not the changes weren't intentional. You're just operating from a different space where you don't really care. You don't really care to be in all these different relationships with people in your past, especially how you remember they misjudged you or really didn't, pay attention to you that much, or even in some cases mistreated you. So you like, man, fuck them. I'm on to moving on my life, having fun, doing what I got to do, keep looking good, keep being successful, right? So they don't know how to approach you. They don't know if you would allow them back into your life because you don't look like you on that type of time. But they recognize you. They remember the energy that you had, how you may have been kind or accepting towards others, or you just showed love. You just had good energy. But in return, a lot of them gave you stink energy, right? Your good energy, your positive energy was met with negative energy because these people, again, they misjudge you, some of them. And some of them, it was just outright just kind of overlooked you or kind of ignored you in a way because they didn't really see your value. They didn't see your light. They didn't see you as an attractive person socially. They felt like they should have connected to, right? So they're kind of like, damn, I don't even know if they even rock with me like that because I remember how I treated them. So I don't know if they even let me back in. Like, should I say something? They're trying to figure out, should they DM you? Should they kind of comment on your post? Should they reach out to you, see if you have the same phone number, all type of stuff. Um, but you're walking in your power. You're walking in your truth. You've accomplished some really good things in your life. And again, you're not even at your peak. You're just scratching the surface of your peak. Um, where it's almost like it's a new beginning. Like this is the beginning of this version of you. Like you haven't even really gotten to where you wanted to be in terms of your own development and things in your life, etc. Um, so you have a lot of secret admirers out there if you haven't noticed. I'm sure again, if this video resonates with you, doesn't have to, but if it does resonate with you, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. All of a sudden, people reaching out. You haven't spoken to them in 5, 10 years, since y'all was like babies, and you're like, what the hell's going on? Like, I remember this person. I ain't really talk to them like that, but they trying to DM, they texting, it's weird. It's weird to you, but this is what you're trying to figure out. If you're trying to figure out what the hell, why this is so random, why is such and such reaching out to me? I haven't spoken to him or her in 5, 10 years. That's because they watch you. A lot of people are watching you more than you think, and I gotta let you know all the seeds that you've planted. As I said, you've been making progress and have success. You're in the abundance phase. You're in that merciful phase to where, because of all the trials and things that you've gone through, and even with these past relationships, it didn't make you bitter. It made you sharper and stronger and more aware and fortified. But you ain't walking around bitter, mistreating people because sometimes you was mistreated in the past. You're not walking around uh 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 all miserable and you know what I mean? So you're getting a lot of blessings for this, right? You're attracting a lot of attention, opportunities to you that's going to leave you in a space of abundance. And again, that's just the beginning. You're just in the beginning phases of everything that you've always dreamed of having. And people are noticing this. They can feel it. They can sense it. And again, folks going to be reaching out to you because they can sense your energy shifting. You understand? So you're having a lot of abundance, success. You're more attractive and vibrant in how you look. Damn, y'all looking good out there, man. And so many things are shifting in your favor. You're trying to understand, like, damn, why am I? It's like I'm having good luck. Well, you're just getting everything you always deserve, but you work for it. And that's another thing. Some folks might have misjudged your resilience, your character, your work ethic, etc. Your mind, your brilliance, right? A lot of y'all are educated. Y'all not educated, y'all educated. Y'all got all the degrees, the certifications. You put a lot of time in to building and developing your skills or your craft, right? You're not just no regular person out here. You are equipped. You're stamped, approved, professional, right? With a capital P, like you're a professional at what you do. You're not just no random person walking around trying to make things happen because no, you deliberately set up plans, goals, and you achieved it. And so you walk into seasons where all that is really paying off. It's already been paying off, but I'm saying it's just the beginning of like a new level of success because of the work and the seeds that you've planted in the past. And the universe is just bending to you, bending to your will. Things are working in your favor. You're getting opportunities now as I speak, and feels good. But just know you got some folks that want to work their way back into your life. It's all on you, depending on what those particular situations were. If you want to let them back in, if you now I don't rock with that person, I remember this and that, or you just don't want to be bothered. And that's another thing that really makes you attractive. How unbothered you are. A lot of y'all unbothered. You don't care. The folks in your past that want to rekindle things, that remember the connections, remember the love and the energy that you had. A lot of y'all like, yo, I don't give a damn. I don't give a shit. Like you're unbothered because you're in a space in your life where you're looking forward, right? You're looking forward to the things in the future, the success, new relationships, new beginnings, environments. You moving, you traveling, et cetera, et cetera. And so you're not really bothered about the past because, for the most part, when you was around these people, they ain't really rock with you like that. Again, because they misjudge you. They didn't really see you for who you were. They saw you as, again, a lesser version of yourself because you wasn't always in a mix of fighting and you know what I mean, drama and chaos all the time. So they thought you wasn't. They thought you was like a spineless little fool or something. They thought you were maybe weak, or they didn't see you as attractive, or they didn't really see your value, or you wasn't the loudest person in the room. So they assume that you was a little weakling or something. And by the way, the loudest person in the room, but always gotta have the center of attention. That speaks to insecurities. Um, but yeah, man. So you kind of remember these things. You don't forget your past. You don't forget all the different groups and people you're around. You may not remember everything. Like they say, you don't remember really what people said to you, but you do remember how they made you feel. And so a lot of y'all ain't bothered, man. You don't care. You left that in your past, and you remember how a lot of these people made you feel. You don't feel good about them, and some of them is just like, I'm just good. And but that's what makes you attractive is like you really don't care. Like you're unbothered, and so that's what makes you more attractive. They say the person that comes to the table and just looks like they don't need anything, those are the ones that hold all the power. When you really don't want nothing or you don't really care about the outcome, that's when you have all the power. So they're watching, they're wondering, trying to understand, do you still rock with them? Are you still open? Are you still kind? A lot of y'all a lot nicer before, but again, you went through so many different things in life, and life has fortified you. So now you ain't on that nice stuff no more. You're not as kind. You still good, but you ain't probably as sweet as you used to be. And these people made that they made that happen. It's their fault. Some of them. But just know you're in a prosperous season, man. You're the best version of yourself you ever been before, and so many doors are opening up for you because of all the work you've done and the person that you've turned into. And so enjoy it. And again, it's up to you, depending on the individual, if you ever gonna rock with them again. If I was y'all, I wouldn't rock with some of these people. I like to leave the past in the past, especially if you haven't spoken to someone in so long. It's like, what's the point now? That's because they misjudge you. So, man, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it added value to it, and, touch you, reached you, and you understood it. Hit the like button. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. Support if you like. Follow me on Instagram, randy.harlequin. Also have another Instagram and acting page. Asim in art. ASIMIN art. ART. TikTok as well. Peace, man. I'll see you in the next one.